Part 24. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Benpao de la Chang. Chapter 231. Just keep a normal mind. There are only a few creatures like this in the whole world. We can reach the current realm, which is already the peak of most creatures. Yes, the Supreme is still out of reach, not to mention the realm after that, which is not a circle that we can fit into at all. Now I understand how important it is to open up a path of your own, as my best friend said. Now it seems that I have no chance to be the first, or in other words, my greatest achievement in the future is only the Supreme. Haha, it's really ironic. The Void Emperor said bitterly. You know, the path he is walking now is the path that countless ancestors of their immortal race have walked before. He is just walking it again and going deeper. Unless he takes off everything and starts over, but it is easy to say but not to do. Most creatures will not give up everything they have now. Unless they are truly creatures with great perseverance, great wisdom, and great fearlessness, at present, the Void Emperor does not belong to this part of creatures. Because he has cause and effect, and he has ties, and behind him are the entire immortal race. It seems that among us, no one has opened up a path by himself, even the invincible path of the double pupil is the same. It is too difficult to open up a new path, it is too difficult. Looking at the long river of history, there are very few creatures who can open up a new path alone. At this moment, in the Taishu universe. After this collision, several creatures of the three tribes who have not yet reached the pioneer level, in an instant, a mouthful of blood gushed out. In these drops of blood, buried, decayed, ancient and primitive breath. Then, they touched the corners of their mouths in disbelief, the smell of blood irritated their noses, they looked at the deep red color in their palms, and said bitterly. Blood, my own blood, ha 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 ha, after so many years, I saw my own blood again. I have even forgotten this breath. At this moment, these people burst out with unprecedented momentum again, as if they had really touched the point of leading, and behind them, the prototypes of new roads gradually emerged. The move just now also made them truly understand their own path, because although they had touched a corner of the leading before, they were too comfortable and needed blood to awaken. Ha 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 ha, thank you very much, Li Bai, if it weren't for your palm, I am afraid I don't know how many years it would take for the prototype of the road to appear. Although we are mortal enemies, you are still worthy of our worship. Then, these creatures bowed respectfully to Li Bai. Unfortunately, you understand too late. You have been comfortable for too long, so long that you have forgotten the taste of your own blood. You think you are the master of the heavens and the worlds, but in fact, in my eyes, you are like imprisoned ants, without absolute freedom, dare not resist, sad and lamentable. Tell me, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of death, or afraid that the pride of your race will be wiped out? Li Bai said to these creatures teasingly. The creatures of the three major races heard Li Bai's words and rarely refuted. That's right, Li Bai, you are right this time. We really don't dare to resist, we are afraid of death. Everyone thinks that when we reach this stage, we will not die, but it is wrong. Nothing in the world is eternal and endless, just like we will fall when facing more powerful creatures. The more powerful the creatures are, the more they are afraid of death and the more they cherish their lives. They don't want to lose everything they have now. This is an eternal truth. Of course, maybe, you are the only exception. After all, you are really unkillable. The ancient pioneer stared at Li Bai and sighed, his words were full of ridicule for himself. If they had the Tao heart of Li Bai, they might have taken the step of resistance long ago. So, let me send you off for the last time. Anyway, no matter what the outcome is, you will die in the end. Li Bai raised his eyebrows and said calmly. What do you mean? Forget it, who asked me to pity you? Let me show you a certain ending of my road. Then, Li Bai waved his hand, and in an instant, several pictures appeared in the minds of these creatures. The first ending. All the vast universe, all the creatures in the region, together with darkness and origin, were swallowed by an inexplicable force and turned into a point. The cycle of reincarnation took place, this point exploded, and the heavens and the worlds returned to that state of nothingness again. A ray of light spread out, dawn came, dispelling the darkness. A new cycle began. The second ending is an extremely strange universe, without boundaries, no sound, no light, and it seems that there is no darkness. In the universe, there are countless corpses floating, including countless races of creatures, from the fairyland, the outside world, and the ancient races. Their realms range from mortals to emperors, from emperors to the supreme, from the supreme to. There are also countless creatures that they have never seen and have never appeared. The breath filled on the corpses of these creatures is countless times more terrifying than their current ones. You know, this is the breath after death. In simple terms, the power of a great emperor after death is weakened countless times compared to when he was alive. Then, at the center of the entire universe, stood a corpse, which looked exactly like Li Bai. Yes, it was Li Bai himself. He was dead, which also violated Li Bai himself, forming a paradox. After all, he himself believed that he was immortal. The third ending was the same as the second one, but the difference was that there was a figure sitting on a blood-red throne in the center of the universe. He stared at the entire vast universe, his face full of fatigue, his eyes full of loneliness, as if he was the only living being in the entire universe. And the appearance of this figure was still Li Bai. Then, the fourth, fifth, sixth, until these scenes ended. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 232. At this moment, these creatures were all horrified, their eyes were full of disbelief, because no matter what the ending was, their races were all destroyed in the end, without exception. In the end, it was nothing more than Li Bai alive and Li Bai dead. No. Impossible, absolutely impossible, these endings, we actually. Countless endings, we didn't escape once, how could this be possible? This is absolutely impossible, we are the spirit race, the master behind the eternal upper world, the Taisha race. Li Bai, this is your path, what does it have to do with us? You are you, we are us, there will never be a cause and effect relationship. A spirit creature couldn't help but roared wildly. They are afraid of death, but they can endure their own fall, but they can't accept the fall of their own race. Only the pioneer of the ancient race said nothing, with the charm in his eyes constantly flowing. He felt faintly that Li Bai was planning a conspiracy that involved all the creatures in the heavens and the worlds. And now, a corner of this conspiracy is about to surface, but they may never be able to see the conspiracy hidden under the water. But the next moment, he thought of the ending of Li Bai's death just now, and instantly stopped all his thoughts. Didn't it say that Li Bai is immortal? Ha ha, how naive, you are still the creatures at the end of the beginning. Do you think that my path has nothing to do with the fall of all the creatures and all the regions in the heavens and the worlds? The answer I am looking for is actually, the necessary condition to determine your life and death. In other words, all of you creatures, whether dark or other, are already bound to this path. But my result is not your result, whether I live or die, I die, you die, I live, and you die, or maybe, I live and you live, everything has a glimmer of possibility. So just as I said before, I, Li Bai, am the greatest salvation of the heavens and the worlds, and the only antidote for you, the ancient clan. Only if I survive in the end can I restart everything. Li Bai looked around the heavens and the worlds and said calmly, but it was this calm word that stirred up shocking waves in the hearts of countless creatures. What did they see that made them so terrified? What is the ending of what they said? Is it our fairyland or themselves? More importantly, what the adults said, why don't I understand what they mean? My brain is about to burn, and I still can't figure out how the adults are related to the heavens and the worlds, and what is the link between them. I don't understand, I can't understand it no matter how hard I think. At this moment, the original Sin old man suddenly thought of something, stared at Li Bai in disbelief, and muttered to himself in a daze. Impossible, absolutely impossible, how could I be? What's impossible, original Sin old man, did you think of something? Hurry up and tell us, we are so anxious. Do you remember what the adults said? At this moment, Xuanhuan Huang suddenly asked tremblingly, his tone full of fear for Li Bai. Yes, this time it was fear. That sentence. My lord, it can be any living being in the heavens and the worlds, and any living being in the heavens and the worlds can also be my lord. Remember it, so what? You, combine this sentence with what my lord just said. Combine it, associate it. What is there between the two? Wait. Boom. A ball of light exploded in the minds of countless emperors, and a terrifying guess gradually emerged in their minds. Afterwards, the expressions on their faces gradually became terrified, and their eyes gradually became dull, as if they were trapped in a huge vortex and couldn't extricate themselves. Impossible, then, who am I, who am I, who is my wife? You can't say that you and yourselves are Taoist partners, or that I and yourselves are Taoist partners, this is too absurd. Although, I don't want to admit it, but this possibility does exist. So, we are just pawns. What is your purpose? Okay, everyone, these things are not what we can speculate, perhaps, only you can tell us the real answer. No matter who we are, what is your final plan? At least, at this moment, we are standing with you. The Void Emperor said slowly, and at this moment his address changed from close friend to adult. On the other side, in a small world in the fairyland, Tiandao's head was buzzing after hearing these words. She recalled that he asked Li Bai if he could kill her before, and the price he paid. Li Bai, you can actually kill me, right? But the price you have to pay is very, very high. This sentence kept echoing in her mind. Could it be that, the pervert meant that the price is to kill yourself? Impossible, I am Tiandao, I am Tiandao, how can he, Li Bai, be Tiandao? But if that's the case, who am I, who am I? The little girl kept scratching her hair and roared. At this moment, she was confused. And the daughter of Karma and the daughter of Destiny were also full of doubts when they saw Tiandao in such a state. Wasn't he fine the second before? How come? Tiandao, what's wrong with you? Tiandao, what happened? Tell your sister. The son of Karma and the daughter of Destiny asked with concern. After hearing what the two had, Tiandao suddenly raised his head, his eyes filled with inexplicable dark colors, and asked strangely. Who are you, on earth? Who am I? Tell me quickly, who am I? I am the Tiandao of the fairyland, right? I am the Tiandao of the fairyland, right? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 233. Speaking of these words, Tiandao's tone gradually became extremely manic. What on earth did you think of? Tiandao, what's wrong with you? When the two of them heard these words, they suddenly couldn't figure out who she could be if she wasn't Heavenly Dao. Immediately, the two of them seemed to notice something was wrong with Tiandao, because at this moment, an aura emanated from Tiandao that made them extremely frightened. Boom! The next moment, an extremely strong breath of death burst out from the little girl's body. This kind of death aura is more like an aura that will drag the entire fairyland into the abyss, an aura that vows to end it together. In that case, let's all die, ha 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 ha, let's all die. If we all die, we won't exist anymore. The little girl let out a crazy and harsh laugh and spoke extremely strange words. Then, her whole body gradually began to grow, and gradually, her whole body was almost the same as the daughter of destiny. Immediately, she slowly looked at the son of karma and the daughter of destiny, her eyes filled with deathly aura. This was not the look that should appear in the eyes of heaven. Hey, my dear karma and destiny, since we may not be ourselves, then why is there any need for the existence of the entire fairyland? How about, let's destroy it together? At this moment, Tiandeo said these words in an unusually cold voice, but to the ears of the two of them, they shuddered and made their hairs tremble. Tiandeo, what are you doing? Damn it, don't scare me, it's unheard of for heaven to be possessed by evil spirits. The expressions on the faces of the son of karma and the daughter of destiny condensed, because they had never seen such a thing before. The way of heaven went crazy, how could this be possible? Tiandeo, calm down, wake up. The son of karma kept persuading, his face was full of fear, and his body was trembling with fat. Damn it, he was not really planning to bring the entire immortal realm to death. Tiandeo, why do you say that we may not be ourselves? Afterwards, the girl of destiny calmed down and asked hurriedly. The most important thing now is to stabilize Tiandeo's mood and ask her why she said this. There must be a cause for all this to begin, otherwise it would be impossible to produce such results. Because, Li Bai, he said this himself. Each of us might be him. The aura of the daughter of heaven is getting stronger and stronger. Li Bai. What does this have to do with him? The daughter of destiny turned her cheek and looked at the son of cause and effect. How the hell do I know? Find a way quickly, otherwise, we will all be doomed. In an instant, all over the fairyland, billowing black clouds continued to appear in the sky, black clouds pressed down on the city, and the breath of doomsday continued to emerge from the black clouds, causing many living beings to panic. Holy shit, what's going on? The sky has changed. I don't know. Is it possible that there are other forces that have invaded the fairyland? However, the next moment, these dark clouds dissipated, along with the fearful aura of doomsday. Well, what's going on? Look, it's gone. This speed is really gone. It's strange. Could it be that, Tiandeo has come to end her, and her cycle is disordered? Wow, what a wonderful inference, you are really smart. It's just ordinary, just a sleeping dragon and a phoenix chick. At this moment, in a small world, the daughter of heaven has passed out. In front of the son of karma and the daughter of destiny, a female creature appears. Her appearance is shrouded in a halo and is blurry, but you can also see from the corner of it. She is definitely a human being. A woman of unparalleled magnificence and beauty. Who are you, how did you get here, and what is your purpose? The son of karma said tremblingly, and asked 3 questions directly, because no living being could enter this place except Li Bai. Don't be nervous, I don't mean any harm. The woman said slowly, then she waved her hand at the unconscious Tiandeo, and a ray of light fell on her body. Subsequently, Tiandeo's body continued to shrink, and the aura of death on his body gradually dissipated. Sister, who are you? The daughter of destiny asked cautiously from the side. She could feel that the realm of this female creature was very strong, strong enough to obliterate those creatures from the ancient clan, the Ming clan, and the spirit clan that were close to the advance. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Tian Nishang, a creature of the celestial clan. The woman said slowly. Oh, celestial clan, wait, what the hell, celestial clan? The son of karma looked astonished, staring at the woman in front of him in disbelief. It turned out to be the celestial clan, a race that almost never appears in the immortal realm. Sister Nishang, how could you? The girl of destiny asked doubtfully, wouldn't their celestial clan only appear when the immortal realm appears and may perish? No, the situation of Tiandao just now seems to fit perfectly. Actually, we have been staying at the eternal barrier and originally wanted to take action. However, because of Li Bai, we did not show up in a hurry. It happened that we just noticed that there was something wrong with the way of heaven, so I came to inspect. Tian Nishang explained slowly. That, Sister Nishang, God knows, who is she? She went crazy just now. In an instant, she gave birth to countless death nightmares in her heart. That's why she wanted to drag the entire fairyland into trouble. Tian Nishang glanced at Tiandao and spoke softly. Then why did she say that we might not be ourselves? This is naturally because of Li Bai. Damn it, it's really because of Li Bai. Can you tell me in detail, Sister Nishang? Destiny asked anxiously. Actually, it's very simple to understand. When you left the Immortal Palace that day, Tiandao asked Li Bai a question. A word. That's right, she asked Li Bai if she could really kill herself, but the price would be huge. And after? Li Bai didn't reply directly, but it was affirmative between the lines. Just, because of this, it won't happen. The son of Karma said doubtfully. Wait, Sister Nishang, could it be because of what Li Bai said? Destiny said in horror. After hearing this, Tian Nishang nodded. No, why don't I know that sentence? Immediately, Tian Nishang explained all this. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Isn't this fart? How could I, the dignified son of Karma, be Li Bai? Then who am I and whose thoughts do I have now? A million children of cause and effect don't believe it. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 234. It's just that every living being has a possibility, it doesn't mean that you must be. That's too much nonsense. Sister Nishang, are you familiar with Li Bai? The daughter of destiny thought for a while and asked. We are not very familiar with each other, we have only met once. Then what is your impression of him? The daughter of destiny asked cautiously. Hearing this, Tian Nishang was obviously silent for a while, then sighed and said. He is too mysterious, too complicated, and too scary. He is so scary that he is a creature beyond our cognition. He has existed for countless epochs before the birth of the fairyland. No one knows whether he belongs to the primitive era, where he came from, and what his ultimate goal is. And, no matter which era, there is always the shadow of Li Bai behind those wars. He is like the mastermind behind the development of Wangu. Once, we also spent countless energy to investigate Li Bai, but the result was like a blank sheet of paper, without any useful things. As he said, he existed in the past and in the future. Any creature could be him, and he could also be the incarnation of anything. However, we can be sure of one thing. What point? What point? The son of cause and effect and the daughter of destiny asked hurriedly at the same time. If he wants to destroy the heavens and the worlds, it's just a matter of a thought. In his hands, he can create countless heavens and the worlds in an instant, and he can also create countless creatures like us. But, perhaps because of some restrictions, he can't do this, and he can't expose his true strength in the heavens and the worlds. Hearing this, the two of them widened their eyes instantly. This is definitely the most terrifying thing they have heard since they have known it. Impossible, how can you be so sure? Do you have any evidence? The son of cause and effect said in disbelief. He would rather believe that sows can fly, roosters can lay eggs, and licking dogs will stop licking, than believe such a ridiculous statement. And the daughter of cause and effect, after hearing this, immediately thought of everything Li Bai said before, and thought madly in her mind, and gradually, a complete story of cause and effect emerged. In a single thought, he created countless worlds, then our fairyland, isn't it possible that he created it? Combined with everything he did before, or, the purpose of his creation is more like some kind of. The daughter of destiny thought of a more terrifying speculation. If this matter is true in the end, then Li Bai is simply terrifying to the point of being indescribable. At this moment, all her feelings for Li Bai turned into fear. Yes, it was fear of unknown things. No creature would be afraid of such a person, especially one beyond cognition. I have to say, you are very smart. At this time, Tian Nishang said to the daughter of destiny with admiration. With this little clue, she can deduce so much. The wisdom of the daughter of destiny has surpassed countless pioneers. What, mean? The daughter of destiny said dully. The ancestors of our Tian clan, the first batch of creatures when the fairyland was born, once found a few fragments somewhere outside the worlds. Tian Nishang said a secret thing. Beyond the myriad worlds. What is that place? This, I can't explain what this area is like, because we haven't been there. I just heard that the myriad worlds are too vast, and there is a barrier at the edge that blocks everything. If that's the case, then how did your ancestors? We don't know even more. Tian Nishang said, shaking her head. Sister Nishang, what is that, fragment? This matter may be beyond your cognition, you must not delve into it, after all, this is just a fabrication of the ancestor on his deathbed, no one knows whether it is true or not, maybe it is an illusion. Nishang said very seriously. Well, we will never go into it. After all, what outrageous things can compare to what we just said? Don't worry, Sister Nishang, we are mentally prepared. Those fragments are fragments of the fairyland, the outer world, the abyss, and the eternal upper world. And, the ancestor said that there are countless fragments like this in that place. The remaining time breath on these fragments varies in length. For example, the fairyland fragment has a time span that is countless epochs longer than our current fairyland. And the time span on the other fragments is more like it was destroyed at the time of its birth, or it is a defective product. After a long time. What the hell? Perhaps, it is really as fate speculated. Li Bai created countless heavens and worlds outside the heavens and launched countless wars, just to test something. And the time and space we are in now may also be one of the experimental subjects. Nichang's tone this time was full of anxiety and fear. She also knew that this speculation was unrealistic and a fantasy, but there was always a hunch telling her that they guessed right. No, wait, I'm going to explode, my head is itchy, as if I'm going to grow a brain. Sister Nichang, is there really such a creature? What's the difference between this and the creator? The girl of fate had a dead look on her face. Now she understood why Li Bai rejected her so coldly, even when she was sent to the door. It turned out that she was just a test subject. Sooner or later, there will be a day of fall. Perhaps, in the countless experiments before, Li Bai has become accustomed to this situation. Okay, I said, all this is just fabrication, you don't have to delve into it, the truth will always surface, we can only let it go. Besides, for now, Li Bai has no evil thoughts towards us. Nishang sighed and said, she didn't want the truth to be like this, it was too hurtful, but at present, they had no ability to change it. Facing this kind of creature, the feeling of powerlessness in the heart is infinitely magnified. After all, who can resist the creature that created itself? Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Benpao de la Chang. Chapter 235. On the other side, in the primordial universe. Wait, I have a question. The forerunner of the ancient tribe suddenly shouted. Explain. Since, you are an immortal being, why, in the endings just now, you would. Having said this, the supreme being of the ancient clan, did not continue. After all, everyone knows everything. After hearing these words, the other creatures suddenly thought of this blind spot. That's right, isn't it said that Li Bai is unkillable? Why do you see Li Bai's body in those endings? Well, I'm sorry, I can't give you the answer. Even I don't know how to fall. Maybe I won't know until I find the answer. Li Bai shook his head, spread his hands and said. So, all this has formed a closed loop of cause and effect. No matter what we do, we can never escape, right, Li Bai? The ancient clan was extremely serious and said with a gloomy face. Yes, you can think so, and the answer I am looking for is the final product. Li Bai said slowly, everything happening now actually revolves around the word answer. Then since you knew all this in advance, why did you kill us? Our final outcome is the same anyway. Besides, the final outcome of this road, even if you win in the end and get the answer, you may not be able to resurrect us, right? Then if we live earlier or later, what difference will it make to you? The ancient clan Xuanhuan asked doubtfully. As a Xuanhuan who had lived for countless epochs, he had gradually accepted this fact. On the contrary, he was still vaguely excited. Although they and Li Bai are mortal enemies, if this road can really be led to the end by Li Bai, then they are still willing to see such an ending. Sorry, this is the rule in this experiment. This is the rule I made. I want to kill you, just for you. I have long said that you are destined to die the moment you attack the fairyland. Li Bai shook his head and said. However, only they can hear this sentence. Wait, you just said experiment, what experiment? The ancient tribe caught one of the words first and asked in confusion. However, the next moment, his head exploded. The experiment you are talking about, doesn't mean, those things. You have already started it? You, Li Bai, you are so humming crazy. Do you know what the consequences of doing this will be? Not only us but also you, will die very, very miserably and not be reincarnated. The ancient leader pointed his finger at Li Bai, his whole body was shaking, and he said in horror. As a pioneer, their understanding of experiments is naturally countless times deeper than that of the celestial clan. After all, they have had too many interactions with Li Bai. No comment on all this. Li Bai's face became much colder at this moment. He couldn't control that much now. Once this plan started, it could not be stopped. However, even though Li Bai said this, the ancient tribe had already guessed it. Ha 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 ha, Li Bai, you are noble and noble, you are amazing. For that so-called answer, you actually created countless reincarnations and simulated countless endings. Now it seems, what is the difference between you and those creatures? Ah, answer me, Li Bai, aren't you and those creatures the same species? The ancient tribe went first, the look in their eyes became extremely resentful, and they roared at Li Bai and asked. The entire Taishu universe, under this wave of resentment, continued to explode. And one of the 7 original sins' true form, after absorbing this resentment, actually exploded, because he could not bear the resentment of the forerunner. Like a raccoon dog. This word is not very accurate. Although, in order to achieve a certain goal, we can do whatever it takes. But, the biggest difference between me and them is that I know what to do at what time. And, I'm not as afraid of death as they are. I will give everything for the answer I'm looking for, even if it means dragging all the worlds down, I won't hesitate. Li Bai stared at the ancient tribe and spoke slowly, as if he was telling him, or as if he was speaking to the countless pairs of eyes in the darkness. At this moment, in the endless primitive darkness, a pair of eyes gave out penetrating gazes. Immediately, a younger Dark Origin slowly asked. Ancestor, did Li Bai really create countless heavens and worlds in a certain space? What on earth is he experimenting with? This, I don't know. If he really created countless heavens and worlds, then where does his darkness come from? You know, darkness and light are the most important factors in running the heavens and worlds. One of the most important rules. This is the most crucial point. Light cannot live without darkness. In the same way, we cannot live without light. The two will always complement each other. A mass of ancient and primitive dark origin, constantly emitting a terrifying dark aura, he was also very confused about what method Li Bai used. It seems that we still know too little about Li Bai. I think it's not very realistic. If he really has this ability, it might be enough to wipe us out. Erase? Have you forgotten what I said? We can never be truly erased. Among them, a group of dark origins suddenly thought of something and said hurriedly. Do you think it is possible that there are countless of them in our dark origins, that is, Li Bai? Don't forget what he said. How, possible, he is light, we are darkness, is there really a kind of life that can carry light and darkness at the same time? Forget it, don't pay attention to these, when the origin of darkness returns, everything will probably be clear. By the way, when did the evil thoughts of that Li Bai appear? The original dark origin asked doubtfully. Logically speaking, with such a big war, even if he was in that place of hatred, he should not be able to feel it. It should be soon. Maybe he is waiting for the most appropriate time. After all, this war between the two worlds is almost over. Oh, when Li Bai fights this evil thought, it is time for us to take the opportunity to enter the fairyland. This time, we must find out the secrets of the fairyland. After all, this opportunity is very rare. We have been waiting for countless epochs. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 236. At this moment, the ancient race went first, and he had already figured everything out. All of this was a plot by Li Bai. In this experiment, his target was never the creatures of the fairyland or the outside world, but countless races like their ancient race. It was Li Bai who guided them step by step to where they are now. I'm afraid that the primordial shackles that restricted their ancient race were also arranged by Li Bai. Now it seems that their ending today may be the ending that Li Bai had evolved countless times before. After figuring it out, the fear of death is not that great. After all, I may have fallen countless times in countless time and space. Li Bai, can you answer a question for me? Speak. Will this be the last time? Gu Xuanhuan asked a question that he was most concerned about at the moment. Maybe, right, I don't know if I can get the ending I most expect in my heart. The time left for me may no longer support the next reincarnation. After all, those creatures are about to wake up. Actually, I once wanted to give up, because I found that in the previous experiments, no matter what, I could not change the ending of King Di, Xiaju, no matter how many forks and choices there are, they will eventually go to that step. However, I can tell you one thing, this time, there may be many changes, but, in the end, if it still fails, then I may die with them, and it won't be considered a breach of promise to the other side. I found them, but not in the heavens and the worlds. Li Bai's voice slowly entered Gu Xuanhuan's mind. Die together? Li Bai, this doesn't suit your character. Didn't you swear to find the final answer? Die together with them, isn't this also the worst answer? Why, tell me so much. I'm just looking for someone to talk to. I've been questioned by countless eyes and stabbed in the back countless times. Only your ancient tribe, as always, has maintained the original resentment towards me, no matter what happened along the way. You say, is it a kind of irony? Li Bai's face showed a trace of vicissitudes. He will also be tired. After a long silence, the ancient clan said suddenly, I will take your words just now as a compliment to us. Are there any other questions? I can give you a question temporarily. Anyone is fine. It can also be regarded as a reward for you listening to me. Is the key on you the key to open our shackles? And, are there countless eras before the Teishu era? After thinking for a while, the ancient clan said slowly. He did not hide the sentence, but countless creatures could hear it. Alas, this dog emperor is not deaf, I can hear their conversation again. Hiss, what do you mean? Is it possible that the Teishu era is not the beginning? Who knows, this matter is not something that we ants can participate in. Alas, this world is too terrible. Before, I was not myself. After, there was an era before Teishu. How many hidden secrets are there? The emperors said blankly, but then they also stared attentively and listened to their conversation, fearing that they would miss any details. I said, one question, you have two. Then, let's say the last one, and I hope you don't just tell me. Even if they are all test subjects, they have the right to know this question. Besides, it won't affect you. After considering it, Gozu chose the second one first. In fact, the answer to the first one is self-evident. He just wanted to hear Li Bai say it himself. In comparison, he cares more about the second one. An ultimate question. I have to say that you are very good at asking. You asked a question that all living beings can't imagine answering, including me. Hearing Li Bai's previous words, the living beings and emperors of the two worlds were a little disappointed. Sure enough, even Li Bai couldn't answer this kind of question. But the next sentence made them full of desire again. But, I still have a clue. Li Bai laughed and said slowly. Really, can you tell me? Of course I have to say it, not only to you, but also to those living beings. Li Bai's tone gradually became calm and serious. Then, he said to the entire Teishu universe. Haha, I know you are eavesdropping, listen to me. You are afraid, right? You are afraid that the secret and the truth will surface, or you are afraid that your dirty tricks will be discovered by them after those times return. So, you blocked everything. Origin, answer me, right? Boom. Li Bai burst out with a momentum that made the heavens and the worlds tremble, and countless creatures couldn't help but tremble. At this moment, Li Bai was too scary, so scary that he didn't look like a creature in the heavens and the worlds. It seemed that he was really angry. Damn it, sir, he is really angry. This is probably the first time he has been angry. You are indeed angry. Even during the Emperor's Fall War, you never behaved like this. In ancient times, when the Emperor was angry, all the spirits fell. If you were really angry, it would be a disaster for all the heavens and worlds. However, no matter how Li Bai asked, there was still no voice to answer his question. Haha, it seems that they don't have the courage to answer my question. As I said, they cherish their lives more and are more afraid of death than you. Li Bai showed a look of ridicule. Forget it, ignore them for now. I have answered your last question. Now, it's time to send you on your way. Li Bai turned his head as if nothing happened. That's it, Li Bai. I've lived too long, and besides, I got the questions I wanted to know. No matter what, as a leader, I still want to die with some dignity. Finally, I wish you good luck, Li Bai. I hope you must find the final answer, otherwise I will curse you forever under the 9 netherworld. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 237. After the ancient pioneer said this, his whole body was filled with the rare breath of decaying wood. This was the breath of death, and he was getting old, as if he was about to reach the end of his life. Then, the whole person of this pioneer gradually became extremely old, his hair became snow white and dry, and his endless life force was constantly flowing away. It was not others who were drawing it, but he himself was losing his life force. Pioneer. Ancestor, this is. Brother, what are you doing? Don't think too much, we still have hope. The other creatures saw this and shouted hurriedly. They had never expected that the dignity that this pioneer said was just not wanting to die at the hands of Li Bai. And this pioneer ignored the roars of these creatures. Road, annihilation. With the sigh of the pioneer, his own road behind him was actually decomposing bit by bit and turning into nothingness. At this moment, countless emperors also understood that this pioneer wanted to commit suicide. Time passed bit by bit, and the entire road finally disappeared in the Teishu universe, completely annihilated into nothingness. From then on, there was one less pioneer road in the heavens and the worlds, and this road would never appear again. Each pioneer's road is unique and cannot be copied. No. No, big brother, no, why are you? An ancient race creature said dully, the fall of a pioneer was a huge blow to their ancient race. This is my choice, as for you, I can't make a choice for you. Anyway, our ending is doomed. In this closed loop of cause and effect, no matter what we do, we can't escape the final fall. Goodbye, Li Bai, the lifelong enemy of my ancient race. After saying this ancient race pioneer took a deep look at the Teishu universe, and then his body turned into a little bit of starlight, gradually dissipating in the entire Teishu universe. The pioneers fell. Woo! At this time, the entire Teishu universe was filled with wailing sounds from all directions. This was the wailing sound of the law. Even the Teishu law could not help but wail at this moment. The fall of the pioneers was a loss to all the heavens and the worlds. Cultivating a pioneer not only took countless years, but also unimaginable resources. Countless emperors of the fairyland sighed when they saw this scene. It turned out that even the pioneers would fall one day, whether by suicide or death by foreign enemies. Ancient pioneer, although you are an enemy of our fairyland, your last act deserves our respect. Worship. 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 On the other side, the surviving emperors of the outer domain were dumbfounded. They never thought that the race behind their outer domain, the ancient pioneers, would end up like this. At this moment, they also knew that this time, the outer realm lost the war between the two realms, and lost completely, without any power to resist. Haha, gone, completely gone, the end of our outer realm is doomed. If you commit suicide first, what power do we have left to resist? Li Bai, why are you not from our outer realm? Boom. 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 Some surviving outer realm emperors also chose to commit suicide directly. Just as the words of the forerunners said, even if they die, they must die with dignity. Incomparably dazzling and brilliant light balls continue to emerge, like the beauty of a star explosion. The explosion scene, like fireworks, caught the eyes of every living being. Countless immortal realm creatures sighed. So many emperors self-destruct. This kind of scene may only happen once in this life. Ha 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 ha, in the end, our immortal realm won. We are invincible. There is no winner in the war. Our immortal realm also paid a huge price. More than a dozen emperors died. However, not every emperor from the outer realm has the courage to self-destruct. Many emperors turned around and fled towards the outer realm, trying to leave this primordial universe. They believed that as long as they returned to the outer realm, they would be safe. The outer realm heaven will protect their safety. You want to run, I, the Dog Emperor, will be the first to disagree, I, the Dog Emperor, will have to bite your shit bag. Xuanhuan, won't you eat shit like this? It's okay, anyway, you are also a dog, understand? Damn, they want to run, we must not let them run, chase them. Come if you want, run if you want, have you asked us? Then, countless fairyland emperors, like killing red eyes, kept chasing and killing these fleeing foreign creatures. At this moment, Li Bai quietly looked at the scene in front of him and sighed. I didn't expect you to use such a way to prove your dignity, which really surprised me. Let's go. Li Bai slowly closed his eyes, which was equivalent to the final farewell to the lifelong enemy of this ancient clan. Next, it's your turn. You also have two choices, to be killed by me personally, or to end your own life like the pioneer of the ancient clan. Then, Li Bai slowly opened his eyes, and returned to his previous indifferent look. The ending of the ancient clan just now was just like a stone sinking into his heart, with only a little ripple. After a long time. Li Bai, I hope you can succeed, don't let down this reincarnation. Li Bai, the ancient clan, I will hate you forever. After saying that, the remaining two creatures of the ancient clan also chose the same way and committed suicide. In the end, the three ancient clan creatures ended their long but unfree lives in this way. No, 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 I don't want to die. I just realized the way, and I haven't set foot on this road. I can't die, yes, absolutely can't die. Li Bai, please, let us go, anyway, we will all fall in the end, later or earlier, what difference does it make? As long as you can let me go, I swear on my life that I will never harass you and the fairyland again. The creatures of the Ming and Ling tribes, with crazy flashes in their eyes, shook their heads frantically. They didn't want to die so early, they haven't experienced the improvement brought by that road. That means, what you choose is to be killed by my own hands. After Li Bai finished speaking, he waved his hand, without any nonsense, he had made a choice for them. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 238. Phew. Under this power, these creatures had no resistance at all. In an instant, the path that had already taken shape was directly destroyed into nothingness. No, no, no. The path I just realized. These creatures from the Ming tribe and the Spirit tribe, their faces were ashen, and annihilating their path would be even more uncomfortable than killing them. Li Bai, SHH, stop talking, don't push me, don't worry, you will die happily, without any feeling. After Li Bai finished speaking, rays of light shot out from his eyes. It's over, these are the last words in the hearts of these creatures. However, at the next moment, something unexpected happened. A force similar to Li Bai's came from nowhere and directly wiped out the wisps of Li Bai's light. At this moment, the creatures of the Ming tribe and the Spirit tribe had slowly closed their eyes and were ready to welcome death. But the next moment, they found that the aura of death had not happened to them, and they couldn't help but open their eyes in confusion. Eyes. Oh, we're not dead. Yes, I don't know why. No, there are creatures appearing in this Taishu universe. They are very strong as Li Bai. Immediately afterwards, an aura of unimaginable hatred and violence turned into a boundless blood mist that struck countless creatures from the other end of the universe. As for the creatures of the Ming tribe and the Spirit tribe, after coming into contact with this aura of hatred, their aura changed drastically in an instant, their eyes turned black and red, and their whole bodies exuded a monstrous aura. They should have disappeared from the path. At this moment, it slowly appeared again, and it was clearer than before. What happened? No, run quickly, we can't continue to chase these foreign emperors, these blood mist are too weird. Immediately, the emperors of the immortal realm who were chasing him immediately returned to the eternal barrier. And those great emperors from outside the realm, after coming into contact with this blood mist of hatred, instantly disappeared into the Taishu universe together with the origin of the great emperors. Die, Li Bai, die, we want you to die. Ha ha ha, it's all your Li Bai's fault. This kind of hatred can't be forgotten even after thousands of reincarnations. The next moment, these creatures rushed directly towards Li Bai. Snort. Li Bai just snorted softly, and these creatures immediately seemed to be stopped, standing there blankly. At this moment, they had no thoughts and no souls. The moment they came into contact with the blood mist, they became slaves of hatred. Gradually, these creatures gradually turned into dust and completely fell into the Teishu universe. It's finally here, my evil thoughts. Li Bai stared into the distance and said lightly. At the same time, with a wave of his big hand, in an instant, every creature in the immortal realm was covered with layers of radiance similar to a protective shield. When the blood mist came into contact with this layer of radiance, it turned into steam like sea water boiling. What on earth is going on? I don't know, but I always feel that this aura is very similar to adults. Xuanhuan frowned and said slowly. Immediately afterwards, the entire Teishu universe continued to tremble, and various terrifying visions continued to appear in it. However, the difference was that these visions were all filled with the breath of hatred. Click. Click. At this moment, the eternal barrier seemed to be unable to withstand such an ominous atmosphere, and cracks began to appear gradually. Damn it, look at it, the eternal barrier. It's cracked. The eternal barrier has cracked. Damn it. Is it possible that there are more powerful creatures behind this outer realm? How is this possible? Isn't it the ancient clan behind Outland? Bump. 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 A sound similar to the violent beating of a heart slowly appeared throughout the entire Teishu universe. Every time it beats, everyone's heart beats unconsciously. Gradually, a figure slowly appeared from the darkness in the deep space universe. When this figure appeared in front of the living beings, there was silence for an instant, time stopped passing, and the breathing of countless living beings seemed to have stopped. They stared at the face of this figure in stunned silence, and their minds were already in a mess. Because this figure is exactly the same as Li Bai, whether it is appearance, clothes, or the aura of powerlessness he gives off. Master. Owner. Grown-ups. Best friend. Countless emperors felt as if they had encountered ghosts, especially Nanyi and De Huang. They had been with Li Bai for the longest time and were even more sensitive to this familiar aura. I can't even tell them apart, let alone the other emperors. 2. My lords, how is this possible? Are both real? Or is one of them fake? Immediately, the evil-minded Li Bai said with a smile. Hello, Li Bai. Are you surprised, are you surprised? After a moment of silence. My evil thoughts, you finally appeared. You have been waiting for a long time. I have been waiting for a long time too. Li Bai responded lightly, without any surprise at all. Huh? What do you mean? What do you think? Impossible, we can't sense each other's existence, how do you know my existence? You surprised me, surprised me. How can you stay calm? The evil Li Bai roared. I sensed it the moment you were born. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Li Bai said slowly. You are talking nonsense. If you really know, why don't you come to me and kill me? How can a creature like you tolerate the existence of evil thoughts? Looking for you. Sorry, I am the protagonist. How can a protagonist look for a supporting role? Shouldn't you take the initiative to deliver it to the door? Li Bai said with a smile. At this moment, countless creatures listened to this conversation, all of them were shocked and trembling. They had never thought that Li Bai would have evil thoughts. Evil thoughts, this is the evil thoughts of that adult. How could that adult have such an irreversible obsession? This is simply too terrifying. If a war really breaks out between the two sides, then... Unthinkable. The evil thoughts calmed down and said with a smile. That's right. After all, you are Li Bai. I should understand. I think you should know the purpose of my coming, right? Of course, it's nothing more than replacing me. But do you think it's possible for a son to replace his father? Li Bai responded disdainfully. On the contrary, things like Tiangang would never happen to him. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 239. Why not? If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been born, and I wouldn't have been rejected by all the worlds like a foreigner. Haha, after so many years, do you know how I got here? I have been staying in that shabby place without any life, and my days are like years. Only by killing you and replacing you can I have true freedom. Evil thoughts, Li Bai said slowly, his tone full of hatred for Li Bai. He was born from Li Bai, but unlike Li Bai, he cannot enjoy all the privileges of being Li Bai. Why, he created me. Oh, do you think you can really replace me? Of course, after all, I was born because of Jushan. I know your only weakness now. Tisk, tisk, what a pity. Even a creature as strong as Li Bai, didn't he kill her with his own hands in the end? It's so sad and ridiculous that she likes you so much. Evil Thought said sarcastically, as if he had already seen the side of Li Bai who was furious and lost his mind. However, after hearing these words, Li Bai's eyes were still as calm as water. Why aren't you angry? You are making me angry. You are so angry. Don't forget that it was all because of you that Xiaju died. You asked him to do it and killed her yourself. That's why I was born. You're sorry for her, you're sorry for her. Seeing Li Bai's indifferent attitude, this evil figure suddenly lost his composure. His character is actually like that of a child. When he encounters something he cannot understand, it will appear directly on his face. I admit this. It was because I lost my mind for a moment that I gave birth to my inner demons and gave birth to you. I'm sorry, Xiaju too. But, don't forget, I am Li Bai, I am cold-blooded, I am indifferent, I am a living being without any emotion. I will not indulge in my mistakes. Anyone and any creature is just a passerby to me and will fall sooner or later. Perhaps, at the moment of death, I will be sad, but only for this second. Similarly, it can only be said to be extremely stupid behavior to use this matter to anger me. Everyone who has fought against me knows that I have no human weakness. Li Bai said extremely coldly. How is it possible? You are lying to me, right? Don't you feel guilty or blame yourself? Evil Thought said in disbelief. I will avenge Xiaju's revenge, but it will never be you. Understand? You are just an ant living in my shadow. Going against the enemy, here, it doesn't exist. Li Bai's eyes were filled with ice cold enough to freeze time and space for eternity. In that case, then I will kill you and the entire immortal realm. I don't believe that after you have done so much for the immortal realm, you will have no feelings at all. The truth of life, the fairy of the dead, alive. After finishing his evil thoughts, he waved his hand. In an instant, the void boiled and darkness surged, as if the era was restarting. The entire universe in the beginning was constantly changing, and the laws of the beginning were constantly chaotic. The gate of reincarnation, the road to hell, and the road to the other side. Waiting for the path of reincarnation, driven by the power of hatred, to gradually emerge. Boom. 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 Immediately afterwards, in the Taisha Guardian array, groups of rays of light gradually appeared. Finally, a figure slowly walked out. They were all the fallen emperors of the outer realm, and among them were the creatures of the ancient, Ming, and spirit tribes who had just fallen. However, they do not retain their thoughts like those immortal emperors who were resurrected by Li Bai. Instead, their expressions are dull and numb, and there is no expression except hatred in their eyes. They are like puppets being manipulated, with only their realm retained. Come down. This is also the deliberate act of evil thoughts. Without memory, there will be unlimited killing. This, how is it possible? How could they be resurrected? No. They are not really resurrected, because there is no breath of life in them, only death. Yes, we can indeed feel that they are more like the embodiment of hatred, they just retain their realm. I think it's because of the Teisha Guardian array. Don't forget, it's your evil thoughts after all. Having inherited all your methods, you can naturally control the Teisha Guardian array. Give it to me and destroy the immortal realm. Along with the evil thoughts, a ray of red light flashed in the emperor's eyes, and then he stared at the creatures in the fairyland and killed them directly. Humph, if I can kill you the first time, I can kill you the second time. What's more, you are just manipulated dolls. Emperors of the immortal realm, kill. Kill. Boom. The war broke out again. This time, the emperors of the immortal realm were not in a crushing state like before. With the blessing of the hatred of evil thoughts, these emperors of the outer realm seemed to be immortal existences. They could only killing machine. Moreover, the realm is much more advanced than before. Damn it, why is this guy so hard, it's killing my dog emperor's teeth. The scales of this fish, I will hum your mother, do you know how long it takes for me to grow a fish scale? Everyone be careful, they have no sense of pain, no soul, and their weakness is the source of hatred in their heart. They must be killed with one strike. The emperor with double pupils used the technique of finding weaknesses in his double pupils, and immediately found the weaknesses of these foreign emperors, and roared at the emperors. Damn, they are so hard to kill. Damn, it hurts me so much, am I going to die? Brother, we were originally resurrected by adults for an hour. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot, then we are not afraid of anything, we are already dead. At this moment, Li Bai turned around and said to the fairyland. It's your turn to take action. After all, this is your fairyland, not mine. Yes, we know. A female voice came from the fairyland sky. In an instant, figures slowly appeared at the eternal barrier. The aura emanating from each figure was enough to shake the heavens and the worlds, and when the immortal realm felt the aura emanating from these creatures, their hearts and minds were instantly shocked. It seemed that they were the true masters of the immortal realm, and the aura flowing from them was the oldest and most primitive aura of the immortal realm. Start, Invincible, met the Empress's apprentice. Author, Ben Pao de la Chang. Chapter 240. Countless native creatures in the immortal realm murmured dully. Who are these? How come I've never seen it before? Why do you feel like facing them is like facing heaven? Immediately, Tian Nishang and other heavenly creatures slowly appeared in the Teisha universe. That woman, even though I can't see her face clearly, I still feel so beautiful, so beautiful. His, Yuzu. Their realms, are all above the great emperor. There are 10 of them. Could it be that they are also the race of our fairyland, but why didn't they appear at the beginning? Perhaps. At this moment, the evil thought looked at the creatures in front of him and said slowly. Oh, Celestial Clan. You guys actually showed up. Boom. The word Celestial Clan instantly spread into the minds of countless creatures, causing huge waves. Celestial Clan? How come I've never heard of it? A separate race. At this time, an old man stood up and explained slowly. The Celestial Clan, just like the ancient clan, is the race behind our immortal realm. They will only appear when the immortal realm is in danger of extinction. To a certain extent, they are the way of heaven. It's just that, unlike the master-servant relationship between the ancient clan and the outside world, the relationship between Heavenly Dao and the Celestial Clan seems to be complementary to each other. That's it? But, how do you know? You are just a dying God King. My wife, Grandpa, once saw the appearance of the Celestial Clan during a great catastrophe of the era, and came into contact with it. Idiot, someone so awesome can actually survive and even make contact. The other side. As the guardian race of the immortal realm, our celestial race will of course happen if this happens. Tian Nishang said nervously. After all, he was facing the evil Li Bai, who was more cruel than Li Bai himself. Oh, I would like to know, is your appearance to deal with me, or is it something else? Evil Thought said teasingly. Even though we know we are invincible, we still have to go up. This is our duty as a celestial clan. Tian Nishang suppressed the fear in her heart and said, nonsense. Of course she didn't want to face Li Bai's evil thoughts, but there was no way. Li Bai himself was beside him, she had to hold on. They also wanted to save face. Okay, I don't know how much you weigh yet. I asked you to show up to deal with the resurrected emperors, not to pretend to be a big-tailed wolf one. Li Bai couldn't help but said teasingly. This little girl was obviously scared to death, but she still had to hold on. Hey, you said this, then let's go. Then I'll leave this place to you. After finishing speaking, Tian Nichang and others quickly joined the battlefield below, running faster than anyone else. Ho, ho, it's okay, I was scared to death. I almost thought I was really going to fight that evil thought. Tian Nishang breathed quickly, patted the waves, and said fearfully, fortunately, Li Bai didn't let them face their evil thoughts, otherwise, what's the difference between that and seeking death? Well, Sister Nishang, you are also a forerunner after all. As for that, we are not so afraid. A celestial being next to Tian Nishang couldn't help but complain. After all, they are also celestial beings, the guardians of the fairyland. Hey, little brother, you are very brave to hear what you said. In that case, go and fight Li Bai's evil thoughts. Tian Nishang said jokingly. Ahem, eldest sister, let's be more pragmatic. This is not something we can get involved in. Let's go and kill those turtle grandsons. After saying that, this celestial clan creature directly joined the battlefield, and the killing was so cruel. Then, Tian Nishang turned her head, glanced at the other celestial clan creatures, and said, You. Before he could wait, Tian Nishang finished speaking and saw these celestial clan creatures saying immediately. Ahem, let's go. Yes, we haven't killed anyone for a long time, so it's time to give them a beating. Let's go, brothers, follow me and charge. Get ready to do it, Boom. In the blink of an eye, these heavenly creatures had already started fighting. Damn it, heavenly clan, your uncle, how can you be better than this dog emperor? Do you want billion? Go and face those who are ahead. Hee, the water is too deep for this great emperor. You, a local dog, can't handle it. Leave it to us. Hey, be good, little dog. You, uncle, you really treat me as a dog. I hope I don't bite you to death. The next moment, De Wang bit the ass of this heavenly creature without saying a word. Ouch, shit. Damn dog, what are you doing? Loose your mouth, it hurts me so much. Damn it, you still haven't let go, don't blame me for being heartless. The next moment, a stream of fart was sent directly into De Wang's mouth and straight to his stomach. In an instant, De Wang burst into tears and almost vomited out the dog's guts. Ahem, my grass is poisonous, and you actually, what the hell did you eat? Hee, sorry, I've been craving for food lately, and I've eaten too much of the mortal world, please forgive me. Besides, you're a dog, you're a shit. I'll forgive your sister. Next, It's time to settle the grudge between us, Li Bai. Evil Thought stared at Li Bai fiercely and said. As you wish. Swish. As the words fell, the two disappeared directly in the Taishu universe. Then, in a vast space outside the heavens and myriad worlds, there seemed to be no space, no time, just like a place abandoned by Taishu. However, after countless epochs, there is still an extremely strong atmosphere of war here, as if a vast war had taken place here at some point in time. You should be familiar with this place, not unfamiliar. Evil Thought asked slowly. Of course, the place where I killed Xiaju with my own hands is also the place where you were born. Li Bai said all this calmly. Li Bai, you really have no heart, how can you say all this calmly? Evil thoughts are like a child, helpless and furious. I have a question, I'm very curious, I hope you can answer it. Let go. Since you are my evil thoughts, you naturally know my plan, right? Li Bai asked slowly. Plan? What plan?